Alright guys, welcome back to the TheCombustionGamer YouTube channel, and we've got more information on Project Motor Racing because we have official gameplay 2 from Project Motor Racing. It just dropped. Let's take a look at it. Alright guys, we got raw gameplay, default asset, standard gamepad for Nürburgring. And we're driving the 992 Porsche. Here's what gameplay we got. We got Acura right in front of us there. Get a decent look at the track, and it looks really good. Very similar to Project Motor Racing, definitely some different style graphics there. You can still see the rubber chunks falling off. We got a nice big group of cars out in front. We also got an Aston Martin directly behind. That is a very nice clear mirror, and also we got the camera mirror there as well. So this is all gameplay, and so let's pause and take a look here. So we got obviously our leaderboard here, so we got, it looks like it's showing us in 4th potentially. I'm not sure how it's showing us. If this right here is red. Oh, straight 4th. This is who's racing right here. So we're 8th. Is the POV cars that we're racing here is straight 4. So that's our POV. So you see the leaderboard right there. For some reason we don't have 4th, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Kind of interesting. So anyways, then looking up here, we got our overall time. So we got our different sectors, and it looks like it's showing us like potentially move it here a little forward. I'm not sure what that's showing us actually. I think it's showing us maybe how many seconds we are gaining on the sector. I'm not totally sure how that's working, but a different information there. But that's definitely your different sectors, sector 1, 2, and 3. You can see that right there. That's pretty easy to do. It is 2 laps, second lap of 2, and we got 8 out of 20. So we got 20 people overall racing. So we got all of the information right here on the actual display of the car itself. Super helpful to be able to see. But then coming over here, we can actually see all of the basic info that we would normally have. So take a look at here, and I'm just going to describe it so that we can actually see it here. So we get our TCS, traction control system, at 6, ABS at 8. We got a 6139, which I believe is the brake bias. Yep, that's what it would be. We got 26.6 liters of fuel. Current lap is 6 seconds, 21 seconds at the moment. The last lap was 9 minutes, 15 seconds. The best lap for us, and the potential of the race there is a 9:06. We also got the lap number down there as well, so I think you can probably turn off some of these info displays and customize how you want it to look. How you want it to look is my best guess, just based on all of this. Also, we got multiple tabs down here as well that you can see. There's, well, currently on tab 1, there's currently 5 different tabs shown that you can cycle through for information, so that's kind of interesting. Currently we do have it set up on kilometers per hour versus, of course, the American version, miles per hour. Of course, we're going to be switching it to. We also got, if we're overheating, warning light there, and we can also see if we have our lights, or aka brights, on right here as well. So that's really good. We also get a really good look at the Aston Martin there behind us. A really good looking car right there. We also get info right here. I'm not sure what the 1.60 bar is. That is not something I'm familiar with the sims that I have raced on in the past. So let me know if you guys know what that is. 1.68 bar, 160 bar. I honestly don't know what that is at the moment. Obviously, we got our brake temps here, or could just be wheel temps actually. One of the two. We got 46 Celsius, 47 over here, 60, 60. Yeah, that's not brakes. It's BAR, so I'm not sure what that is. And then we got medium, so I'm thinking that's telling us what tires we have on there. So not totally sure. You can see the different temps here in the light. So obviously front tires a little bit cooler than the rears, but you can see that the brakes are a little bit hotter than the rear brakes are. So we got a lot more brake bias there in the front, so you can kind of see that represented through color. So that's nice, but yeah, I'm not sure what the 1.60 bar is. That might be track bar, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, it's something right there that shows you what the adjustment is or what's going on. Let's see if that changes. So watch all this information here, and we'll see if that changes when we go around. sound-wise, really good sound. That sounds very good. Hadn't heard the bumps throughout the racetrack as well. That sounded excellent. We have good representation of the bumps as well. So that looks really good. We got our RPMs right here in this bar. These numbers down here have not changed, so that's got to be something with the suspension setup. I'm not totally sure what that's going to be, but something with that. You have seen these temps change throughout, though, in that short period of time, so that's definitely something to do with either tire or brake temp. I would assume it's brake temp, but it could be tires. I'm not totally sure on that. It does look like we might have like a wear groove potentially on the bar. Looks like if I'm looking at that correctly, it looks like we might be wearing like the inside of the tires a little bit more than the outside, so it looks like there might be something that's going on, but not totally sure on that. Obviously, we don't have a huge sample size here, so we're just kind of guessing, but it does look like these are bars of the tires that slowly change, but once again, not totally sure. Just taking a look at this, haven't seen all this information before in previous gameplays, so it's very interesting to look at. We will look at stuff that's outside of the car, but right now we're just trying to figure out what all we have for info. Also, we have our map right here as well. Hadn't really looked at that. We got all the different cars lined up there, and you can see this looks like it's changeable, so you can change the size of it as well. So if I'm imagining this correctly, it should be once again very similar to Project Cars 2, where you can really customize the information and where everything pops up on the screen. That was really cool and very helpful in that game, so I'm going to assume that we're going to have a similar feature on this game to be able to have that, because it definitely seems like that's how it looks. So I'm very sure that that's what we're going to get. Oh, the car sounds good. I'm going to try something. I do have some bass boost headphones here, so I'm going to listen to it with that for just a second to see how the sound is. Yeah, if you have bass boost headphones, it's definitely going to be a very different sound than what you might hear with just regular headphones. So you switch that to the bass boost, you hear a lot more of the shaking of the car. You hear a lot more of the rumbling from the tires meeting the asphalt, so you really do hear that a little bit more with the bass boost. So definitely probably some sound things you can adjust. But yeah, it sounds like they have a pretty good spectrum of sound that they got going on there, so that's pretty cool. You got your shift lights right here, so that's helpful to see. So if you're not inside the car, so that's one thing I think some people were complaining about, is that we hadn't seen shots outside of the car, which obviously they're trying to focus on the inside of the car, because that is what they're trying to aim for, is more of the sim racers. Obviously, they're making this so it's available to anyone to be able to race, so I'm sure there's going to be like a swingman cam or a chase cam behind the car. But obviously, with this information right here, you'd be able to watch your shifts and stuff without having to be inside the car if you want to do that. So obviously, one of my favorite is either roof cam. Chase cam I'm okay with, but it seems like, I don't know, it's like, I used to really like chase cam, but then when I think several games, specifically Project Cars 2, had the roof cam, that really has become one of my favorite cams to race with, just because I don't know, it feels like a good POV where you're limited with what you can see, so you can have that realism, but I don't know, it's a better view in my opinion. It's just one of my favorites. So being able to race with the roof cam, looking down over the nose of the car, be able to have all this information right here, could be very helpful. So just continue to take a look here. We also see the head of our driver shift around, so there's going to be like a head shake and whatnot, and it looks like we do have like apex of the turn, so basically look to the apex. I do believe that that's in here as well, if I'm looking at that correctly. Yeah, the camera kind of shifts a little bit as you turn, so car sounds really good though. Good shifts. Ooh, quick brake, yep. That sounds really good. Alright, let's go back to the front here. So obviously Porsche 992, that's what we're in. So now what I want to focus as we watch this is the outside. So taking a look here. Definitely Giant software. I can tell that instantly from all my time with Farming Simulator. Definitely the similar graphics in the terrain and everything. Cars look really, really good in my opinion. The trees are definitely good. Yeah, that is farm sim trees. That is hilarious. I don't think I ever thought that I'd see farm sim trees in a racing game. That is something else. That is definitely different. You can see a bunch of the foliage right here, well done. We got a bunch of cars. Yep, and that is the similar model to Giant's engine. Very, very similar parked cars and stuff. That is the same thing. So that's kind of cool to see the crossover in the engine. They really did not change that much. So very, very similar. That's pretty cool. Continue on, see what we see. So you saw right back here, you can see as we go into the corner, you see the rubber coming at you. One thing that I don't notice is like any rubber specks collecting on the windshield. I wouldn't imagine that would be something that they would probably really look at too much, but just interesting to note. One thing that I can see in this mirror right here, and this might be I'm not sure what version that they're doing this in and what the settings they're using. You can kind of see like the horizon's kind of gone in this particular mirror. You can still see the basic details, but there is like no horizon, no sky. Whereas in this mirror right here, the quality is much better, so I'm not sure what else is going on with that. You might be able to do like a switch to where you prioritize one mirror over the other depending on what your driving style is, and you might be able to get better quality that way. Not totally sure how that's working yet, and obviously I don't know what version of the game they're doing this in, so we have to wait and see on that. Taking a look right here, you can see obviously we're in the turn. The head has kind of equalized so that you're not looking at a slight angle. You're still flat, you're still horizontal with the horizon, so we're in the corner with the banking and we're still looking at about the same angle, so that's kind of neat to see. Through the turn here, a little bit stuttery on the map over here if you watch that, so not super smooth on the map. It's still going to give you the basic information, but it's not super smooth. That would probably be a little critique of mine right there. So see right here, yeah, look at this detail in this mirror. The detail in this mirror is excellent. We got the Porsche right behind us there. We got the Aston Martin. You see the trees and everything. Then you come to this mirror, which obviously is the digital mirror, and you get basically the same thing. It's kind of hard to see because we got all this stuff in the way, but it's not as good of a detail, so I'm not sure if they're planning on people using this more than this. So it just depends on how they design it, and obviously once again don't know what version of the game this is, but I do like what I see with this mirror right here. Don't know if there's an option for your own, like what you're outside of the car to have your own mirror pop up. Haven't seen that yet, but obviously this mirror right here looks excellent to me for obviously racing. You're mostly looking forward. You're only using this as a reference point to what might be coming up from behind, so you're not needing a ton of highly detailed information. Nice to have, but not something that you have to have necessarily. Yeah, the difference in quality between the regular mirror versus the digital mirror that they have down here, it's quite noticeable there, so that's kind of interesting to notice. We do have pedestrians on the side. Obviously we're going past at high speed, so how everything's rendering is a little bit different with that. Very, very nice. So being able to just race past that with that style, honestly, I'm okay with. That works. It beats. I know some people were kind of saying they were disappointed with the graphics. Honestly, it beats. I think it's like there was NASCAR 21 Ignition. There was Project Cars 3, obviously, which we don't want to think about too much. The style on those was so annoying to me anyways, and that was because they look so cartoony. I mean, obviously we had Unreal Engine with NASCAR 21 Ignition, but what was so annoying about that is that you had balloons at every single track. It's like, why is there hot air balloons at every single track? Why is there all of this non-necessary stuff that's not actually at the actual tracks? Why is there all this fluff and stuff at all of these places? Really, really kind of annoying. How much detail they put in that, and obviously for NASCAR 20 Ignition, how little detail they put into actual racing content. So this, I'd much rather have a decent looking style that you're racing past versus all the fluff and stuff. I want it to look good, but if the racing style doesn't work, then it looks good for nothing. There's no point in that. But I know people were complaining about that a whole lot, and I can definitely see their point. But it's yeah, I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just saying that to me, it's not high priority to have extremely good looking exterior track shots. It's like I want the game to actually work good and not just have random hot air balloons for some reason floating over the track. I don't know why that was a thing. So that was really weird. It's like Project Cars 3, hot air balloons, NASCAR's winter recognition, hot air balloons. Is like, was it just like an asset came to all the gaming studios and we had to put hot air balloons everywhere? I'm not sure what was going on with that. That was kind of weird. But yeah, the lighting on the cars look really, really good. I like that. That looks really, really neat. Nice bumps there, and see the sun glare. Yeah, you see the sun glare in the reflection on the Aston Martin right behind us. That's a nice little detail. Obviously, it's foggy too, so that messes up how the game renders a lot. I mean, even with Project Cars 2, if you had it foggy, it messed up the resolution quite a lot. So foggy conditions always pretty hard to be able to get a good look at the track and have really good graphics. Fog just it hurts. It hurts a lot. So, but yeah, that right there, that nice little reflection. You can actually see some reflection on the mirror of the Aston Martin too, which is kind of cool. But yeah, having a nice detail on the trees and stuff as you race by looks really good. And I did not factor that into my previous comments on this. It's foggy. That does hurt resolution. So once again, we don't know what version of the game it is and all of the factors that they're putting into this particular piece. But overall, it doesn't look too bad. I'm not seeing any stuttering with the racing, so that's good. There's nothing weird with the rendering. So it seems like it's playing nice and smooth. So that's really, really good. But overall, I really like the look of it. The sound, love the sound. If I can go to Daytona and it is the same infield resonating sound that Project Cars 2 had, then this is going to be a really, really good sounding game. That's going to be neat. So anyways, that is a look, guys, at Project Motor Racing. This is the official Gameplay 2 video, where you can watch a little bit of Nürburgring in a Porsche. What was it again? It was a Porsche. What are we doing? Porsche 992. So yeah, so playing on raw gameplay, default assets, and standard gamepads. So default assists. I said assets there. That's not what it is. So standard gamepad, so obviously a controller. But yeah, I like how this game looks very, very, very much. And I gotta say, I like how it sounds. I like how it looks when it's driving. It looks pretty cool. So anyways, guys, that is it for me today. I've got to head to bed, get some sleep, and I gotta go to work tomorrow. So anyways, that is it for us today. Hopefully you enjoyed. And we will see you guys here once again on the Combustion Gamer YouTube channel. Thanks so much for clicking on the video. Let me know what you think of the game. It looks awesome to me. You can also check out the links down below to pre-order your version for console. And we will see you guys here next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.